Okay, so this is the instruction videos, and you can actually follow my instruction here. Okay, and I really don't want to do this demo because my point is to be, you know, you have to be creative, and I don't want you to draw a paint like me, but I think it's helpful to see how I process it. So again, the point is not to paint or draw like me, but the process, how the painting can develop. And I want to share that with you here. So, first thing, what you want to do is pick like any kind of a materials, like a paint. I'm gonna use the Micron first. It's not paint, that's okay. If you want to use the paint, that's totally fine. I know I'm gonna switch it later on, so I'm gonna have it ready, right? And make sure the brushes is dipped in the water, and then it's ready to go, right? Okay, and you also study the color harmony from the color pencils assignment, so you can kind of loosely think about if there's a certain color scheme that you're thinking about. um, Also, at the same time, this is a drawing from subconsciousness, so you shouldn't be premeditated what you're gonna do, which is very contradicting process. But we're just gonna try. Okay, first step is to, I want you to have your medium, and then I want you to restrict the movement, and we will release it slowly. So I'm going to have a pen open, right? And I'm a right-handed, and from with my left hand, I'm gonna press the wrist so that my movement is just around here, right? And looking at the paper, you think about where you want to start it. You could start from the corners or in the centers, or maybe 2/3 in, wherever you just kind of feel like you're looking at it. It's like, just be very spontaneous, and just respond. Just kind of, if you feel like, oh, that's where you want to start, just pick. Don't think too much, right? This assignment is not about making a rational decisions. So look at it. Okay, I'm gonna start it here. I'm gonna press my right wrist so that the movement of my right hand is very limited. So this is the radius that I can move, right? And what do you do? I'm just kind of making this like weird, kind of like a teardrop thing. Remember, I'm not supposed to make anything recognizable, right? So no hearts or eyes or trees or, hands or whatever. So, and I can only move around this much. I was like, I kind of like it. It just, lots of repetition. It started to look like the patterns, right? Okay. Okay. I kind of like that. Now, still working on this area, what can I add on this painting? Not painting, I guess the drawing. Maybe I'm just gonna like darken in some colors. Just because I felt like it, right? Okay. Okay. Kind of cool. I like it. Okay. So now I'm actually gonna switch, and it's also, you can see better too. I'm gonna use a very it's this flat brush, and dip it into the water. Still gonna be working from this area, but I just kind of feel like I want to use red. So I'm just gonna start coloring the little dots. And maybe I'm just gonna extend a little bit. Okay. Kind of fun. That's good. Okay. And now I'm gonna use another clean brush. You can continue to use the same brush, but I'm gonna use this blue, and I just feel like I just want to use the blue. And this time your left hand, to restrict the movement, move to the elbows. So I'm actually holding an elbow, so my radius, the area where I can move around, is bigger, right? So but I'm just gonna focus on the area, and looking at what I did, what you want to do is to kind of repeat what you liked, right? Repeat what you liked. So I'm just kind of making this random just marks. Cool. Okay. I like it. All right. Now, I kind of feel like I should kind of go back with the micron and then just kind of continue the patterns a little bit, you know. I kind of like the mixed media thing because it has like a different sort of feeling and sensibilities, right? And my pan's kind of dying too. Well, maybe because it's so thin, thin point, you use this one for the other assignment. It's kind of not consistent, which I also like it, right? So I'm still kind of creating, sort of limiting myself in this radius, right? Okay, kind of fun. I like it. Now, you think about what you've done here and try to respond. What do you mean by respond, right? It's like, what do you think? Just very guttural feeling. It's like, oh, I like it. I just want to continue more. I do want to put more colors. I just don't feel like putting a yellow. So maybe what I do is I'll mix the purple together. You know, I'll mix the red and the blue together, right? And then I'll just put a little bit of white. My traditional paint doesn't give you straight like a violet that you imagine in the grapes, right? You know, the type of mixture that you get from these traditional warm color is a little bit more muted. Oh, I kind of like that, right? Ooh, and I like that one a lot. Maybe I'll just kind of gradually making these dots bigger as it goes away. I don't even know what this is, right? But it's okay because it's not about making something rational and recognizable. These are, I'm just responding to what I did. So I have no idea how this painting is gonna turn out. And you know what? I'm just gonna make a slightly more lavenderish sort of beige color. See, I just kind of thought about it, so I just did. Oh, I like that, right? I can make new marks, and then maybe like bigger. I really like this kind of gradual sort of like feeling how like developing, you know, like it's just sort of, it's like a almost like a music or something, right? Like it's like slowly the volume has been like a turn louder. I really like this purple. Maybe I'll just mix it a little bit more with the light white. My paint is more fluid than what you have. So if you want to have it really smooth like mine, what you want to do is to add more waters. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so I kind of extended a lot, right? And here you look at the painting and like, what do you like? What do you don't like? And start looking at something that, you know, if you feel like you want to repeat something, you do it. And if you don't like it, you can also erase it as well. Now, I might just try this kind of a wash, see how it goes, right? So what is the wash? The wash is kind of like a watercolor effect. So I'm gonna use this bigger brush, right? And then dip it into the water. And I have my palette. I feel like I'll use a little bit of the blue. So transparent, meaning you use a lots of water so that you can see through the color, right? Ooh, I already just like how the blue just kind of turned out this way. Okay, so we'll see. It's still somewhat wet, but like, ooh, I really like that. Ooh, that's really cool. I mean, literally, like every time I do this demonstration, I literally have no plan. But this is the whole point of this assignment. Like, since I'm doing this demo in one setting, I'm really just, you know, I could just totally wait and then have every dots to be dry. But you know what? What if it bleeds? Oh, it doesn't bleed. Oh, this one will bleed. Ooh. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, I like that a lot. Right? Okay, now I have a very transparent look. Ooh, that looks pretty cool because I have this little red ink on the brush, which making it look like kind of mistake, but there's no mistake, right? You're supposed to just kind of respond to it. I really like this effect, but maybe I'll try to work on very, very light wash. Like super light, so I'm not even adding to the paint. I'm just kind of dipping into like a dirty water. And it's like, ooh, that's really cool. I like that a lot. Like every time I do this demo, it's just so different. Wow, I kind of like that. Now I'm looking at it. It started to have some kind of space and the movement and, you know, some kind of sensibilities. Maybe because of the color, it looks a little melancholy, you know. Looks like a raindrops, but they're not, right? So, and then I really like how the edge of the paper, the paint drying, you know, it's just sort of like not planned effect, and it's very spontaneous kind of look. So, wow, I really like it a lot. And now maybe I will let this dry a little bit and see if I want to add something. But another thing it's kind of fun is that when the surface is still wet, I'm just gonna use a really thin brush. And what will happen if I use like black paint. Ooh, look what happened. Look what happened there. Ooh, I really like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna purposely apply the water. And I have black paint. Ooh, you probably, ooh. Great, maybe I accentuate the micron. You know, eventually, you know, I don't have to keep anything from here. If I want it, I do. If I don't, you paint over, right? Kind of cool. I like that a lot. I feel like I have to do this kind of thing more. This area is really beautiful, but I feel like that's where I should repeat something. Ooh, cool. Okay. You'll see my painting is right now. Okay, so this is the kind of process of this painting. No plan, just try to respond. But the way that I started, you know, limit yourself from the area that you can walk on, gradually wrist and elbow, and at the end I was kind of moving freely so that I can walk on the entire area. Your painting is much bigger. I just have to make it smaller. So imagine how much you have to move, right? So respond, repeat if you like something. Don't repeat if you don't like something. Alter it, change it. And also in the lecture I mentioned about variations, right? If you look at it, they're all like a small raindrops, but in a different size and different colors. And it looks like a color scheme for me is somewhat like cool, you know. So it's a little bit more like a sad, melancholy colors. But you know what? Maybe a few hours later, when everything is dry, I might walk on a yellow. We'll see. I feel like right now the painting is a little too wet. Thing about this type of painting, you can carry it away, and then like when you apply too much, and I don't know if it's too much, you can lose the image quite fast. You know, everything gets super muddy. So I'm just gonna wait and then come back later. Just for the purpose of demonstrations, you know, the impasto that I talked about in the lecture is oops, the wrong brush, but maybe I was supposed to do that. Impasto means you apply a really, really thick paint. Well, that might be kind of cool. I just did it for my demonstration purpose, but oh, look at that. That is so cool. Might add a really, really different textures because when I come back, this is going to be dry and it's thicker. So it looks like I just dropped the paint. And I may even do another layer of wash. Right. Okay. So have fun, and you can work on this in one day, or you can come back once it's dry, do the layer. I think a layering is a good idea because the surface becomes much more complex, right? Okay, so this is my drawing from the top, right? And obviously I'm not done yet because I just worked on this area, so I do want to extend. All right, have fun, and if you have any questions, email me or send me email. Thanks.